Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Destructicon, and today it is my pleasure to bring you my review and analysis of Borderlands 3. In this video, I shall be taking apart Borderlands 3, comparing it to its predecessor, and we'll also see how it stacks up against similar games in the genre in terms of mechanics, innovation, and overall fun. Now, let's dive right into it. Borderlands 3 is a looter shooter, a kind of FPS RPG hybrid, by developer Gearbox Software and publisher 2K Games. In Borderlands, you're thrust into the boots of a vault hunter, an elite mercenary, one-man army type of guy or gal who must take on the evil Calypso twins and their bid for domination. The looter-shooter genre has seen a surge of popularity in recent years, with many releases such as Destiny 1 and 2, The Division 1 and 2, and Anthem being the most notable examples. The focus, in broad terms, is to level up, which will unlock various perks, stronger gear, with the eventual goal to get more into the late game. Borderlands, as a series, precedes most of these games and distinguishes itself through its focus more on the campaign and co-op elements of its gameplay, a unique and highly stylish art style, and its campy, over-the-top humor. The campaign is fairly lengthy, clocking in at around 20 to 25 hours for the main story, and 40 to 45 hours when you include the side quests and more exploration, which makes sense given the heavier focus towards it and the single-player elements than on its MMO-esque experience. You might be initially fooled into thinking the main story isn't very sophisticated due to the game's campy, over-the-top nature. But Borderlands 3 does a good job in world and character building, and manages to turn from funny to dead serious on a dime due to its self-awareness and by exploiting the contrast between its otherwise playful and lighter tone with the darker themes such as betrayal or death. While not mandatory, the side quests do add a lot of value to the experience, giving you a sizable chunk of money for various upgrades, as well as a lot of good loot, some fun lore, and a ton of laughs from gems such as this.
Care to buy it? Of course you do! Wow, you did it without the upgrade? That was painful to watch. How much ammo did you burn through? That's some serious dedication to avoiding microtransactions. I really just don't understand you at all, hero.
While you don't need to play with a friend to enjoy Borderlands 3, the experience is certainly richer with one, and this element has seen several upgrades compared to its predecessor. Dynamic scaling has been introduced, ensuring that you and your buddies are always at around the same level of power compared to the host, allowing for a much better leveling experience. In addition, there are even more looting options now. You can choose to share all the rewards among your friends or opt for everyone to get his own treasure. Borderlands 3 also offers quite a lot of replayability via its New Game Plus mode, endgame, and possibility to try new characters. Similar to a lot of other modern games, beating the campaign can unlock a harder difficulty version, which also opens up better gear. The devs have also taken a few cues from games like Diablo 3 or Path of Exiles, adding Mayhem mode. This game mode unlocks once you beat the campaign and can be turned on or off at any time. It adds some random modifiers to every login on the world or bosses, making each encounter unique, increasing or decreasing their difficulty substantially, while also adding more rewards. Doing so will reward you with a lot more legendary pieces of gear and also allow you to fully flesh out your character. If you're not into New Game Plus, you can still farm a few select bosses in a raid-esque experience on your current character and difficulty. Doing so will reward you with a lot more legendary pieces of gear and allow you to fully flesh out your character. Spicing up your adventures will also be a wider variety of environments to explore. While previous installments did great with just Pandora, Borderlands 3 finally allows you to shoot for the stars, or at least for other planets. Whether it's trotting through the swamps of Eden 6, admiring the beautiful vistas of Athena's temple monasteries, or firefighting through the corporate streets of Promethea, there is plenty to take in as you explore. The environments are not just for show. They offer a surprising range of depth and breadth for exploration, with plenty of verticality and loads of nooks and crannies, filled with secrets of all kinds, beast hunts, collectibles, and tidbits of lore, or even new rides or improvements to your vehicles. Find enough of these secrets in a particular area and you can unlock special weapon crates, filled with good gear and a strong chance for legendaries. As with previous games, Borderlands 3 lets you choose from one of 4 Vault Hunters. They roughly fulfill certain gameplay archetypes, such as the Spellcaster, Tech Specialist, Pet Class, and Soldier, but with Gearbox's own unique twists. Unlike its predecessor, in Borderlands 3 you get to choose from one of 3 ultimates associated with your talent trees. As you put points into a tree, you also unlock other ultimates or even special effects so that you can further augment said ultimates. The talent trees are all very well done and they add tons of flavor to your heroes, in effect making it feel like you can choose from 12 or more classes depending on how you decide to allocate your points. The gameplay variety offered is extremely broad, allowing you to play either a tank or a damage dealer in the same class, and even among damage dealers to vary from a reckless machine gunner to a precise sharpshooter. The vast customization gels perfectly with the game's gunplay. The overall pacing is very fast, with the usual sprinting and jumping now augmented by sliding. The controls are very precise, and a lot of the weapons are distinct and satisfying to use, from the weighty and impactful shotguns to the rapid-fire SMGs and the one-shot killer snipers. Overall, the combat is fast-paced and visceral, seeing you slide, dodge, and shoot your way to victory. The game throws lots of challenges at you, from waves of fodder enemies to tougher enemies aptly called badasses, to uniquely scripted boss encounters. Enemies are resilient to certain kinds of weapons but vulnerable to other damage types, encouraging you to be smart in your choice of weapon loadouts. Downing the toughest campaign and raid bosses often requires a carefully thought out build, mashed with suitable gameplay and weapons, as well as a healthy use of cover and abuse of weak spots. For your hard work in slaying badasses and finding secrets, you'll be rewarded with a plethora of weapons and mods of different rarities. The weapons have gotten a few light but noticeable tweaks with alternate fire modes. The alternate fire mode can do a lot more than you think, depending on your weapon. It can switch either from burst to semi-auto, change elemental damage type, change a weapon's configuration from, say, a sniper to a shotgun, or even add something completely new like miniature rockets. Of course, the most coveted pieces of gear are the legendary weapons, shields, and mods. Not only do they provide the most damage and survivability, but they often come with unique modifiers which completely change how a weapon or even an entire class plays, such as an SMG flamethrower, gravity grenade, or an energy shield which adds to your weapon damage at the cost of depleting itself. The depth and breadth of options provided by the gear offers enough build variety to rival that of some MMOs. As mentioned earlier, Borderlands has distinguished itself throughout the years for its cartoonish art style, and this one is no exception. All the different planets are brought to life with exquisite detail, and the charming art style manages to capture the spirit of each planet, from the awe of the corporate planets to the peace and tranquility of the monastic worlds. The art style is both inviting and beautiful. The game doesn't slouch in the sound department either. The weapons sound great and impactful and are augmented by the various explosive and electric effects. Your characters also react to pain and heavy fire, giving you cues to duck and cover. Of course, the real stars are the voice actors, which bring to life the colorful and charming cast of Borderlands 3. The voice work is incredible and it does a lot to build and add to the personality of the different characters, making it a treat to listen in on their various conversations. Whether it's your own hero's monologue in reaction to a recent firefight,
Finally, a real fight.
or listening in on the NPCs with their various quippy, satirical, or blissfully ignorant discussions.
Mind if I practice my small talk? How is about this weather we're having? Please don't respond. I truly don't care.
Borderlands 3 is priced at the standard AAA game rate, and given the length of the campaign, the overall quality and enjoyment derived from it, and the amount of replayability found in it, I'd say that the game is more than worth its price. So far, there are no DLCs to speak of. However, if they add the same amount of value to the base game as they have to previous installments, they could be well worth it. All in all, I've really enjoyed Borderlands 3. I picked it up with a bit of skepticism after seeing some of the backlash to it online, but after playing it for a few hours found that it's every bit as lively, fun, and enjoyable as its predecessors, and a fantastic game in its own right. It doesn't innovate too much upon the formula, but where it does, it feels impactful, and the overall great execution makes this a solid entry into the series. For all this, I give Borderlands a badass 8 out of 10. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you stuck with me till the end, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting. With the wave of new releases now in autumn, I'm working on a lot more videos, so please tune in next week for a new one. I'm also going to try and find more time to stream, and you'll be able to catch me on twitch.tv/Destructicon. Thank you all for watching, and have an awesome day.